The other movie I saw after The Predator was White Boy Rick. My favorite title of 2018. um, I This is a movie that I kind of knew about even before the trailers popped up because for one of two reasons. One, well, mainly it's one reason, but one main reason being that it was filming in Cleveland, which I live an hour away from. Matt McConaughey was here, Bruce Dern was here. Matt McConaughey even fucking popped up at a Cavs game when they were in the playoffs last year. I've heard genuinely people that met him said he was a really cool dude. And like I said, it was a movie that shot in Cleveland, and I remember it just because of the fucking title. I'm like, what the hell is White Boy Rick? Really? That's a fucking title we're going for? Okay. I didn't know much. I didn't know anything about the story, so I mean, I was like, that's a really weird title for a movie. But then also. Just a fucking funny joke in joke about this movie is that every time I saw the title, my dad's name was Rick in real life. He's long gone from this world, but I always thought like, my God, he would have fucking seen this movie. He was white, and it was like he would be like, "That's a movie about me." That was just an in joke. But anyways, this was a movie that I when I saw the trailers, I was all on board for it because I fucking love the trailers for this movie. I thought it was really solid. I got a trailer for this a lot. Like one of those movies was like, man, when is this movie ever fucking coming out? And yeah, it was a movie I was looking forward to just from the trailers. It looked interesting. I've even kind of read a little bit about the backstory behind of what this movie was about. The person this movie was about, and I was like, it sounds like it could be an interesting movie. And yeah, I actually really liked this movie. A lot better than I thought. It was a lot better than a lot of critics have been giving it. I wouldn't say it's flawless. There's one thing that I thought was a big problem with it, but I thought the good kind of outweighed the bad in this movie. The biggest positive about this fucking movie was the acting. The acting in this movie is fucking solid as shit. Especially the main characters, which are Matt McConaughey and his family. Particularly Matt McConaughey, who, goddamn, if this wasn't, if this movie was getting better reviews than it is, I would probably say he would get an Oscar nomination for this movie. I know he's got that other fucking movie. What is that coming out this year with Anne Hathaway, or Anne Hathaway wants him to kill her husband or something like that, who's beating her? Is that still coming out? But anyways, yeah, he's really fucking good in this movie. He's a guy who's kind of a sleazeball. He's got a great fucking looking mullet. It's the 80s, for fuck's sake. Of course he's got a mullet. He is a guy who is just trying to take care of his family any way he can. And he's doing it through mainly selling firearms on the streets by buying them off gun shows and then selling them on the streets. And he even's got a license. And even though some of the things he's doing is kind of illegal, like I said, you understand his motivations. He's a family man. He wants to give him and his kids a good life. Even has a goal to open a video store. That's like his whole goal, is to save up enough money to buy a video store. Again, it's the 80s. It's 84, I think. This 84, I forget 84. I think for 87, most of this movie takes place in. I thought the main kid was good too. I thought he was pretty solid. Like his scenes with him and Matt McConaughey were great. They had great chemistry together. I could believe him as a father and son. I thought they're really good. I like the daughter even too. She has her own story arc, as she's a junkie who hates her dad because he's kind of a sleazeball himself, and he, like I said, he also he wants to do right by her and try to fix her, and is failing at doing it. One for majority of the movie, she moves out with her black boyfriend, and she's addicted to drugs. I think got her addicted to drugs. I forget what drug it was, but like there's a great story arc with her character too, and all of them pretty much are given a great story arc. You got Jennifer Jason Leigh plays the FBI agent that gets him involved, and the kid involved with the FBI as an informant. She, like I said, I love her and pretty much everything she's in, and she's fucking great in it. The story is just a fucking crazy story. It is a crazy story. I mean, this kid who, like they say in the trailers, before the age of 17, became a FBI informant, a drug dealer, a kingpin, a hustler, yada yada yada, all before the age of 17. And it's like, that's fucking crazy. And this movie is a very tragic story, honestly. It's like, the end of this movie is really fucking sad. It is really sad. It's the scene at the end with Matt McConaughey and his son is fucking heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. Matt McConaughey, some of his best acting I've seen from him was in that scene. He was really fucking good in that scene, Matt McConaughey, and the kid was good too. I don't know if I want to get into spoilers because this is getting into spoilers, but because this is based off a true story and you can look it up on Google and you can find out easily what happens to the kid. I guess I'll still say spoilers. Like, you find out, like, this kid, like, I knew before the movie go in, he ended up, I won't say how, but he ends up at the age of 17 being sentenced to life in prison. Life in prison! Holy shit! He didn't, let's just say, he didn't murder anybody. He didn't, molest anybody. He didn't kill it. He didn't do anything that really, I would say, deserves something like that. He had some, let's just say, drugs on him. And, yeah, he got life in prison. He got a fucking age 17. That is a crime, man. And, even when I read the story, it's like, when I read what happened to him, I'm like, really? That's what happened to him? And, and the movie points it out, it's like, it's so fucked up. It's, really fucked up. There are child molesters, and rapists and shit like that don't even get half the fucking time that this kid got. God damn, man. Even murderers. There's some murderers out there that don't even fucking get half the time this kid got. That is insane, man. I was like, that was heartbreaking. That makes the movie even heartbreaking when you know that fact going in. One thing I will say about this movie is that I had a problem with it was that it felt like there was a lot of passages of time that was missing. There's parts of this movie where it's like, I guarantee that there's a lot more interesting stuff going on this movie didn't show. I had trouble figuring out what, the span of time to all this movie took place in, because stuff would happen just randomly and just some characters would just pop in and out of this movie and to the point I fucking forgot they even existed. Sometimes you're I feel like they're more important to the story than this movie lets on, but this movie decides to focus more on, it's a movie that focuses on Matt McConaughey and his family and this kid and all that shit like that, and how his actions kind of, reverberate with his family. He, like I said, which is fine, but at the same time, it's there's probably a lot more interesting stuff they probably could have covered. I don't know the full story, and it's just this movie, it has a lot of, a lot of characters that just are pop in and out, and you almost forget that they fucking exist. You're oh yeah, that was a person in this movie, because you don't see them for long spans of time. I think there's even one fucking character that literally pops in at the beginning, and I forget who it was, beginning and end of the movie. Who it was? But anyways, I still recommend this movie. I do. I really do. I thought it was a really goddamn good movie. Also, I hate the fucking fact that this movie was shot in Cleveland because it is pretty much supposed to be Detroit that this movie takes place in, and Detroit was a fucking shithole back then. I'm sure most of Detroit in this movie happened and probably still looks like a shithole. And I hate the fact that a lot of this movie was shot in Cleveland because that makes us look really fucking bad. But I know not all of it, but yeah, like still fuck. And really recommend the movie. Trailers. The Front Runner. This is a movie that I just heard about, and then I was like, oh, this is that movie. When it popped up, this is a movie that's coming out on Election Day, which I don't know why the hell they're doing that. It's a really stupid move. Really, everybody, I don't know. It's a movie about the guy, Senator Gary Hart, who tried to run for president back in the 80s. I don't know this story much. I know I've heard of that name before, Gary Hart. I swear to God, I don't know where how I've heard him from. Is he still in politics? I can't remember. But he, about the scandal that ended his presidential campaign run. It looked interesting. It's Hugh Jack. It's another movie. It's like, yeah, that's Oscar bait. It's trying to get Hugh Jackman an Oscar, which I'm hearing it's not getting that well received. But yeah, it didn't look too bad. A Star Is Born. This was basically a short trailer for that movie. I've been hearing great things about it. It's obvious that this movie is trying to get Lady Gaga an Oscar. I pretty much knew from the get-go. You could tell from the trailers that they're pulling for Lady Gaga to get an Oscar, which is a fucking weird statement. But yeah, all right. If it's good, I'm on board. And the last trailer I got was shit. No, not shit. New trailer for First Man. It was like a more extended trailer. I mean, it's pretty much the story of Neil Armstrong, if you don't know. It looks good. It's from Damien Chazelle, the director of Whiplash and La La Land. This is his follow-up after La La Land, and I don't know if anybody knows about the fucking stupid controversy about this fucking movie. There is a controversy about this movie. It is the stupidest single most stupid controversy I've heard in years. It's okay. You don't know. Apparently, people have seen this movie said they cut out the scene where they plant the American flag on the moon, and because of that, Republicans are pissed. Why? I don't that is the single dumbest controversy I've heard in my entire. Now they're wanting to boycott it. Fucking stupid. It's the dumb. Speaking of that, I got fucking next week. Got Fahrenheit 11/9. Michael Moore. I know I'm gonna be pissing off fucking Republicans. If they watch my review for that. But yeah, I'm like, that's fucking dumb. This is a controversy. Yeah, I didn't even know about that until a fucking week ago. But yeah, that's as far as trailers go. This week, what the hell they got? House with a Clock, I still see A Simple Favor. That's right, I still gotta go see A Simple Favor. I'm gonna try to go see that tomorrow. I got a busy day tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to go see that. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later.